Hi, everybody. Welcome to Nine9 Nation, Episode 6. I am Angie, a.k.a. Angela Lee, a.k.a. Sugar. And I have with me our Detroit office director, Cora, and also, usually behind the scenes, our videographer, Mark Demick. Hi.
Feels weird to be here right now, but...
Hello.
Yeah, that's got to be a odd change going from behind the camera to in front of the camera.
It's honestly not that bad.
No?
No. I've been in front of the camera as much as I've been behind it, so...
Oh, okay, so you have experience.
I've gotten used to it, for sure. Yeah, I've gotten experience in front of the camera, for sure.
Was that your first job?
Being in front of a camera?
Yeah.
No.
What was your first job?
Dishwasher at a restaurant for a day.
One day. It was that bad, huh?
Yeah. It was a grand opening.
Okay.
I was 15 years old, and I could not handle it.
That's a lot.
It was a nightmare. But looking back on it, I probably should have just stuck with it. So.
What made you leave?
Yeah. It's like too many
It was mainly
dishes?
the main chef. He was just mean.
Yeah.
Like, I would walk, because we would have to go into the kitchen, grab the dishes, and if I got in his way at all, he would literally pick things up and threaten me with them.
What?
Like, if you ever come in my kitchen again...
Was he foreign?
Yeah. If you ever come in my kitchen again, I'll smack you with this pan, okay?
What was your first job?
I managed a gas station.
How old? Hold on a second.
Okay.
How old were you?
I was 18. I had just graduated from
How
high
do
school.
you get a managing job?
Because my dad knew the
Okay.
owner.
Okay, so you
So
had
that's all
like
you know, right?
How long did you work there?
I was there for like 6-7 months, and then a different owner took over, and the new owner needed me to work the night shift, and I was like, "You're not working the night shift at a gas station. It's not happening."
So how
I
long were
left.
you there?
6-7 months.
Okay.
Yeah.
So that's pretty long.
Yeah. And then after that, it was a waitressing job.
Okay.
So that's why I was like foreign.
I worked at a few restaurants. My first job, I was 14.
Where at?
And it was at Harold Thomas Nursery, and my job was to clean the plants. So, like, I would pick the dead leaves off, essentially.
That's not
And
bad.
water the plants.
I feel like that'd be relaxing.
It actually, it wasn't bad. It was cool because I had, like, people from my high school, the older kids. There was a couple of them that worked there.
Yeah.
So it was kind of cool, but it was just funny. It was such an easy job.
Mm-hmm.
Literally
How long
just
were you
water
there for?
plants. I was there for, probably like a year and a half. And they ended up closing and turning it into a Westbourne market. So they actually offered everyone jobs there, but I didn't stay. I ended up going to Joann Fabrics.
Nice.
Yeah, I was there for
Wow,
like
you
2
moved around.
years.
I didn't really have that many jobs, actually. I just had that dishwashing job, and then I had worked at Kroger for like 5 years. So I stuck
that was,
around
like, your
places.
long-term.
Yeah, that was the longest
Yeah.
job I ever had, pretty much.
What about
I
you?
think
What did you do
longest
after the
job.
gas station and the waitressing?
I worked at a urologist office for like 3-4
Oh.
years, and then I was at a dermatologist office for like probably like 5 months, and then that's when I came to Nine9. Because I had just started
Wow.
my brand, and then that's how I found out about Nine9, and then that was like November of 2015. And I've been
What about you?
Yeah.
So you were a dishwasher,
Mm-hmm.
and then
Turn bagger and grocery stocker. Then pretty much video from there.
Okay. So you
So
kind
this
of
is
got
like your
right
third-
into it. Yeah.
Yeah, pretty much. For third real job.
Yeah.
So, yeah. Just kind of it was just something I always did when I was a kid.
Yeah.
I was taking my parents' old camcorder and making stupid movies on it.
Yeah.
And there's a lot of that in my childhood. And I just kind of wanted to carry that over. So that's kind of
You
what
and
brought me
me.
on this path.
Both. I still have, and I should bring it in one day because it's really funny. But I was maybe like I think I was like 12, and I scripted out an entire awards ceremony. Now let me tell you
my
how
God.
into this I got. This goes beyond just. I scripted it out, and back then, and I'm going to date myself, we only had cassette tapes. So what I did was I set it to where the music was all timed perfectly,
Oh,
along
wow.
with the audience clapping. So
That's
I
pretty
was
legit.
the host, the performers, the award recipient, as well as the presenters. And I
Nice.
had it timed
One
out
man
where
sh-
it's like,
one woman
hey,
show.
everybody, welcome to the Grammy Awards or whatever. I know I made an award too, by the way, that I gave to myself. Welcome to the Grammy
Congratulations.
Awards. And then all of a sudden it would clap because I had timed it perfectly. And there was like, our first presenter, and this was one of them, or no, a performance was Green Day. And so I dressed up like Green Day and I put on the performance. And then I did a special tribute to Nirvana.
Nice.
Where I gave Dave Grohl the Lifetime Achievement Award, and then I dressed up like Dave Grohl and accepted my own award.
That's awesome.
That is awesome.
So that's where that
So
went.
we'll let you on that path for sure.
Nice.
But I think so after I was at Joann Fabrics, I was still in high school then. I worked like little random jobs, like I worked at Coney Island for a little bit. And then when I graduated high school, what did I do? I managed a mold and dye company.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, that's random, right?
Yeah, that's
A mold and dye?
A mold and dye company.
like a machine.
Like a machine. It's a machine company.
Like for
How old were
casting
you?
mold. Like
I was 19.
Yeah,
How
Yeah.
exciting.
that's crazy.
And then
actually.
I worked for Jeffrey Feiger.
Hmm.
Yeah. And then I moved to LA. And then I came back from LA and I did promotional modeling for 2 years. And then I came to Nine9 at 22.
Nice. What year was that?
To Nine9?
Yeah.
2004.
Nice.
So we all kind of made our little...
Yeah,
Yeah.
definitely different paths for sure.
Yeah. And that's funny. It's funny how you kind of bounce around industries when you're young to kind of like really try to find what you're interested in. I mean, if you're interested like something like videography or acting in my case, it's, you know, something you sort of grow up and you work different jobs, although pursuing probably your passion on the side. But
Yeah.
what was
But
your
here's-
passion?
that's what I was just gonna say,
Because you
like,
are
this
so
wasn't-
all over the place. Gas station,
That is
waitress.
not-
Well, I mean,
Yeah.
you were all over the
This
place
is-
too.
Yeah, that's true.
This wasn't what I actually ever saw myself doing. So, growing up, I love art. I'm an artist, graphic designer. Like, I love art. And so,
And you're really talented, by the way. You should see some
Thank
of
you
her
so
drawings.
much.
They're really good.
but like, when I moved to the country, like, it was like, you know, you got to either be in the medical field or you got to be in the law field. Like, you have to have a real job. Like,
Yeah.
you know, art is not going to get you anywhere. So that's how I started. I went and got certified to be a medical biller, and that's how I got in the medical field.
Wow.
Yeah, and then I actually ended up loving it. Learned so much about insurances and how the medical field goes, and my customer service skills, I got it from my waitressing job. So, like, you got to talk to all kinds of people, young ones, older ones. You got to have a sense of humor. You got to be outgoing because your tips depends on that.
Right.
So I was able to learn my customer service from that, and then in the medical field, being professional and being able to talk to different people from different religions and understanding why certain people are a certain way. I came to Nine9 because I had just started a brand. So, like, when I was in the medical field, I was like, all right, I still got to stick to my art. An opportunity came my way to start my own brand with, like, 3 of my partners. And I was like, all right, cool, I'll do it. And they needed models. So, like, that's where I got some of my models
No
from.
kidding.
Yeah, it was from Nine9. I was like, what is this company about? So once I started learning more about Nine9, I was like, I love this. Like, this is what I want to actually get into, because it kind of goes along with the path that I was trying to get into, whether it was art
Right.
and entertainment. And I started here as a talent specialist, and that's when I was like, I want to do this. And the first time I seen an open call, I want to be able to do that. And I've always wanted to do, like, public speaking, but my biggest fear was public speaking.
How did you overcome that?
Yeah, there's a lot of different ways. 'Cause I was
Yeah.
the same way. Like,
It's always
I was
nerve-wracking.
a very shy person when I
Yeah.
was younger, like extremely.
Yeah.
And there's a lot of things that broke me out of that for sure.
With
So-
me, I remember when I first started doing open calls, like the presentations, I would get nervous. Like, I would call, like, my boss at that time, like, I can't do this. Like, you got to do this for me. Like, just one last time and I'll do it next time. And, like, I remember the one time that she was not here, like, I was like, I can't, I got to do it. Like, I have to actually do the open call. And when I went in there was, like, I think 30 or 40 people. That was the biggest crowd that I have ever had when I first started. And I remember I forgot my name. Like, I went out there and I just completely forgot my name, and I looked at them and I was like, I just made a joke. I was like, sorry, it's been a long day. I completely forgot my name, but everyone started laughing, and that's when I was like, oh, like, they're not, like, this is actually pretty fun. So that was the first time that I had the best, like, interaction with the audience, and I realized, like, you just got to be yourself. And since then, I've loved public speaking. Like, I absolutely love it. Presentations are one of my favorite part of what I do in my position. And I never thought I could overcome that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's a huge part about it, too, is just being yourself.
Yeah.
People get in their head too much about
Absolutely.
it. And they're always like, oh, what was that line? Oh, I gotta be this person. I gotta pretend to be this person. It's like, no, just be yourself, and it comes out naturally.
It comes out naturally, especially when you love what you do and you're able to just express it and talk. It's just talking to people. Basically, they're just human beings. You're talking to them.
It's like this podcast.
Like you said, like you get into your head, and that time I couldn't get into my head. I was like, I forgot my name. Like, if I forgot my name, I forgot everything else.
Yeah.
But that was like one of the biggest parts for me, and that's one of the things that actually Nine9 did help me with, was public speaking, being able to talk to a large crowd. And I think the largest crowd was like 70 some people. So I thought that was pretty awesome.
It is.
Yeah.
And you interview.
Yeah.
'Cause you're our office director here.
Yeah.
And I know we've all been in some interviews. Has anybody had like a bad interview experience?
Yes.
Oh boy, I can't wait to hear that.
Well, I mean, it wasn't as bad as you'd think. I was just a stupid, naive kid, just kind of like going into a job interview thinking like, oh, it's just a job for Best Buy. I can get this, no problem. So I just wore like jeans and like a T-shirt and didn't really dress up at all. Kind of like sat all like
little cocky
this during the interview. And the guy even stopped me halfway through the interview. He's like, can you please sit up? I'm like, oh, okay. So that was probably the worst job interview experience I've had.
You
What
know,
about you?
it's funny. I don't know.
I can't wait for this. Like, sugar.
Really, the worst interview I had was an audition. It wasn't like a job interview.
What happened?
I mean, it's a type of interview.
And it was for a big movie. I don't remember which film it was, but there was a big movie here, and I got called in for an audition for a lead role, and I was so nervous. And I don't know. I went in there, and it was so bad that I kicked my own self out of the interview, out of the audition.
Like, I'll show myself out.
I screwed up once, and then they always let you do it again. And I don't know if I laughed the second time, but I was like, yeah, I'm just going to let myself out.
So you just get stuck in that like nervous laughter of like,
I don't know what it was. It's funny because there's times where you go in, it's really all about being prepared. And I think that's the case for any interview, whether it's an audition or a job or whatever the case is.
Yeah.
But I don't think I was really prepared that time, because sometimes you'll get the sides ahead of time, which I think in this case I did, but I just didn't prepare. And so when I got there, I was nervous. And then when I went in there, and it's also kind of hard when they have you read with somebody, because normally in auditions, the casting director provides somebody to read the lines with you, right, while they watch. So you've got the casting director, sometimes a producer, you've got the person that you're reading the lines with, and then you have the camera. And the person reading the lines generally doesn't give much emotion. They don't really give anything for you to play off. They just read them.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So it's hard to kind of bounce off somebody that's just flat.
Yeah.
But there was just something about, I think what it was it was one of my first bigger auditions. So I was really in my head, and I just laughed myself right out of the audition. And it's funny, though, she called me back to audition again for another movie. It ended up being the movie Conviction with Hilary Swank.
Don't think I've seen that.
It's actually a really good movie. It's got Hilary Swank, and what's that guy, oh my God, from the 3 Billboards Out of Ebbing.
I have no idea.
I can't remember his name, but he's like amazing. But both of them are in it. But I didn't get the role.
I don't think I've ever had like a bad, and I've had some like bad interviews that have come into our office.
Well, what's a tip? And then I'm gonna tell a story for Justin, because he's told me the best interview story I've ever heard in my life.
I don't think like I've ever like done anything bad or
like what impresses you though, like. And this is good advice for everybody, you know, coming from somebody that holds interviews. You know, what sort of What do you look for, I guess?
When they come in here knowing or have done some kind of background, like about Nine9, they know a little bit about Nine9, have gone to our website, read about us, because you go to our website, you know exactly what we do, what we represent, and who we represent. I think that's the one thing that I look for. Like, what do you know about Nine9? Have you done your research? Have you read about us? Like, why would you want to work here? Because this is a different kind of like an environment. Like, you have to want to do this. You have to have the personality, the passion. I think that's the one thing that I always look for. How often do I get that? Rarely.
Well, again,
Really?
being
Rarely.
prepared.
They're rarely ever prepared. I think the worst interview that I've actually gotten was a girl came in with her like slippers.
Her slippers.
Like
beach
they were like
flip-flops?
PJ
they were
slippers?
like
Fuzzy
like
slippers?
those fuzzies, like they were
No.
so cute. But I
Oh.
was like, you came in here with your slippers? She's like, yeah, I have my heels in my car. Do you want me to go grab them? I was
What?
like, nope, you're already here.
You
You
should've-
brought the heels.
Yeah.
Wasn't the point to put them on?
Maybe she just forgot and didn't notice until you pointed it out. I don't know.
I don't know, but like you don't show up to a job interview.
Well, Justin.
Yeah, I can't wait to
I
hear
don't
about
think
this.
he'll mind me telling the story because it's really outrageous. So he was working somewhere and he was holding interviews. So the person came into the job interview. During the middle of the interview, stopped and ordered Jimmy John's sub delivery. Mind you, she's still in the interview.
Mhm.
The sub comes
Mhm.
and she starts eating in the interview.
Wait, so the Jimmy John's driver just bring it right into the
That's
interview?
how fast they are.
That's what I'm wondering.
That's how
Sneaky
fast they are.
Yeah, so she was still there and just started eating, and him like, what?
I mean,
Why would you
they're
ever
hungry.
put that in your head that that's okay?
Like, I
Uh,
mean, like you
so-
said, like that's pretty fast.
Yeah.
Freaky fast.
It just some of these people just don't have that like knowledge or like life experience to know that they're doing
That's-
something
But
bad.
you know what?
Yeah.
It's
too.
okay not to have life experience, but like when anything that you don't know, the internet is right there. Like there's so much information that you
Oh,
can
yeah.
get. How to show up to a job interview, how to prepare, some interview questions to know about. Like the first
Right.
thing would probably be learn about the company that you're interviewing for. Like
Yeah.
that would be one of the first things. Like you got to know where you're getting into. Like why would you be qualified for this position? Not just this position, but like for the company. Like why would you be a big asset
Right.
to the company? So
Mhm.
no, like that's not an excuse.
And
Like
number
their
two on
life
that-
experience has no. That's not an excuse at all.
Yeah.
Like you can still learn about that. You just go
Yeah, I
online, you
agree.
research all of that, and
Yeah, because if you really
Yeah.
care, you're gonna try and get some of that life experience by
Absolutely.
learning from other
you'll
people.
go out of your way above
Mhm.
and beyond to make sure that the interview goes well if that's something that you really want. And if you don't, then that just basically means you don't
And you
want it.
never know where you're going to end up either. You know, everybody, no matter what kind of industry you're in, you start somewhere, right?
Absolutely.
You started as a talent specialist.
Yeah.
You started as an intern.
Yes, I was an intern here for. When did that start? Around June? Yeah, June. I started, and then got hired on full time.
Yeah.
So,
Isn't
yeah.
it only since June?
Yeah, it's only been since June that I've been here.
It
feels like you've been
seems
here
way
longer. Yeah.
It does. It really does. It
For
seems
sure.
like it's been a long time.
Yeah.
And I started
Huh.
posting castings. We didn't even have a castings department when I first came on,
Back in 2004.
2004.
Hmm.
A
Man.
long time ago.
And I remember like you and Katie were saying like you would mail out the com cards.
We would physically. this is,
It's like
it's
Netflix. You
really
used to mail
cool
out the
because
DVDs, now you send them
9/9
online.
sort of
Yeah.
revolutionized the industry.
Yeah.
And it's been wild and a really awesome experience to see the company grow from when we first started to what we've built today.
And to seeing the industry change too, like
The
you're saying,
industry,
it's changed
yeah.
a lot.
Back when we first started, Katie and I created the castings department
Yeah.
together. And so we would reach out to casting directors and say, we want to email you talent. And they'd be like, no, you got to mail it. You got to, because back then what you would do is you would print your headshot and your resume or take your paper comp card and you would physically mail it to
Mhm.
the casting director. You know how much time that takes? We would have to overnight them sometimes just to make sure we're getting the submissions on time and printing them. And finally, as the internet got bigger, and remember, there's no social media back then, the internet got bigger, and finally casting directors started to see, we would send them submissions like, look, you have everybody right here. You can just click on their photo
Literally.
and you have their whole comp card.
Yeah.
You don't have to mail it. Because what they used to do is they would actually have, like, agencies would have slots on the wall, like little folder holders.
Yeah.
And so they would have a group of all their talent headshots in each one. So they would pick off the wall who they were going to submit, put it in a package, and overnight it.
Yeah.
So it was cool to kind of see the industry
crazy.
catch up to us.
I can't even imagine doing that right now.
Yeah, that's crazy.
That is crazy, 'cause
the
like you said,
logistics of that is crazy.
Absolutely.
It's a
People
nightmare.
forget what it was like before we had we had the internet, but it wasn't a
fast enough to
tool.
send a comp card.
Yeah,
Like,
it wasn't like a.
you couldn't send
used
that
as a
much
tool as
data.
it is
And I don't
now.
think everybody used it. I don't think
Yeah, the
everybody actually
internet
used.
kind of exploded around like
Dial-up
the
internet.
2006,
dial-up
2007.
Yeah.
I remember.
You
I
use
remember
your phone or your
dial-up.
Get
internet
the
link.
AOL
Yeah.
CD with the free 100 hours, and you put it in and
Yeah.
And you hear it
America
like
On-
dialing
Yeah.
America Online. Oh yeah, I remember that too.
and like the
As a little
buffering,
kid,
like
but-
you have to wait
Oh
for it
yeah,
to buffer.
yeah. But it's
yeah.
crazy to see how much technology has changed so many industries too
Oh, yeah.
over the years into
Yeah.
what it is today, with all even the online streaming services.
Yeah, which Apple's making one now. Another one
So
put on
we
the
have
list.
we have Disney. It has a new platform.
Disney, NBC, Netflix.
too?
I think that is it NBC. No, it's AMC. AMC is
They have
doing
what
one.
platforms?
AMC's doing one.
like
TBS is doing one.
Netflix.
Yeah.
Oh,
So Disney is now coming out with a platform like Netflix. So instead of having all the Disney movies on Netflix, you're
you'll
going to
have it
have
on
to
Disney like app.
platform.
With their own originals and
Exactly.
stuff like that.
That's
They're coming
pretty
out with Star
awesome.
Wars shows and new
I didn't even
movies
know
coming
that.
out.
Which
They're
is
just
great
exclusive.
for our industry because that's more jobs across the board, whether
Absolutely.
it's crew, production, or talent. But
Yeah, definitely creating
I
way
mean,
more jobs.
like,
what
Or
is
Disney-
Apple going to do? Like
They're
their
trying
own
to
original?
so they're trying to do something like HBO where they're focusing more on less shows. So they're only going to have, I think, to start like 9 shows period on the platform that are their originals, and they're going to focus in on those to make them really good. So they're kind of going HBO's route, focus on these shows, high production quality, make them as good as they can make them. So
Do you are they going to charge for
yeah,
the
it's
first
$5
9
$5.
shows? Okay.
If you own an Apple product, you get a year free.
Okay. So
Nice.
that's how
And-
they're going to get
yeah,
people in.
Yeah, they're going to get people
Yeah.
in like that. But on top of that, it's also going to be like you can watch live TV on it as well.
Oh, live TV.
Yeah.
That's interesting.
So it's like
they're getting
they have
rid of
original
cable.
shows that comes with live TV. So
Nice.
Cable is really
it's dead.
Well, we don't have
It's gonna
cable,
die.
so we have like Apple TV, and then we have our Netflix and Hulu, and then like any movies that you want to rent. We don't
See, I
really
feel like I'm the
own.
only one that loves cable.
You still have cable. Didn't cut the cord yet.
No, and I don't want to.
I mean,
Because I'm a big movie person. Like that's
So am I.
there's some shows that I watch, but really like movies. So I have all the channels, all
Yeah.
the movie channels, all the channels because I just want to be able to. And I have Comcast, and they have an incredible on-demand selection.
Yeah.
Even though I've seen so many movies.
well, you can also get the
I
app for
can't imagine.
HBO and Stars. So,
Yeah.
like that's what we have. So we have the app
Yeah.
for HBO and
But that all
Stars
costs
and-
extra, right?
It does, yeah. But like if you get like a bundle, I don't know how that works.
What
but,
I like
don't
to do
either.
is I like getting a lot of physical discs. Like I know that's a lot of the thing people don't like to do nowadays is get DVDs and Blu-rays of movies and stuff. But it actually is better quality than streaming it. Like streaming, you lose a lot of the details in the image. So if you get like a Blu-ray, it looks a lot better. I usually would like to go through my movies and watch them like that. But
So-
streaming is just so much more convenient. Like I'll just have all my shelf.
I
full
wouldn't
of
even think of that, but like
discs,
you
and I just
do that
stream.
kind of stuff. So like that's what you watch out for. Like that's what you look for, the
Mhm.
graphics. And all. I don't think I would ever like care for Blu-ray or like.
There's movies
Streaming.
that I've almost walked out of the theater of just because I was annoyed by the visuals and the way
Really?
it was shot and stuff like that.
Well, we have
So-
to remember though that buying movies is still how this industry thrives, whether
Oh, yeah.
it's
Absolutely.
going to the movies, the streaming services. But typically, when films and whatever are released, the streaming services are the last place it goes.
But now with Disney
Yeah.
Plus, they're going to
Because
go right
that's
on
where
there.
you're-
Yeah.
your money's
That is the last
not
place.
big there.
Absolutely. Like
Yeah.
one of the like the newest movies, you would have to go and watch them.
Yeah.
Yeah, you start theatrical,
absolutely.
and then you go to pay-per-view,
Yeah.
and then you go to video.
Yeah.
Do people
and
still
then you
do
go to
pay-per-views?
streaming. Yeah.
Really?
I do it
People-
all the time.
People do it, but I heard a lot of people. One person pays for pay-per-view, and then they stream it on like Facebook or Twitch or something like that, and then they have other people watch it for free.
Well, and here's the weird thing. So, well, it's not weird, I guess, but what I like about Comcast, for instance, you can buy movies, not all of them, but
Yeah.
before they're released on video.
Yeah.
So that's what so like if there's a movie that I really want to see and I just don't want to go to the theater,
Mhm.
like Bohemian Rhapsody.
Yeah.
I was really excited for that to
That's
come
a good
out.
movie.
It was amazing. So when it was available to buy, I bought it, and it's like almost $20. But I
Yeah.
figure that's the same price, cheaper actually, probably than going to the movies, and you're in the comfort of your own home.
Exactly.
And you have
Absolutely.
it forever. Well,
Yeah.
as long as you have
As long as you
Comcast.
have
Yeah.
that service that provides it
yeah.
to you.
So, but then there was the movie stores, but there's still family videos around. Believe it or not.
I can't believe that Family Video is around, but Blockbuster isn't. It's kind of weird.
I know. I miss Blockbuster.
I miss Blockbuster too.
Yeah, how is that possible? Like, when did Family Videos come out? When did Blockbuster come out?
Well, and this is the weird thing is that we now have Redbox, right?
Yeah.
But I don't understand. I mean, why are there no more movie stores? Like the one that I went to actually just closed. So I'm pretty bummed. There's another
Oh.
one that's not too far from my house. But the movies were like $1.50. You could pay, I think it's like $10 a month.
Mhm.
And the movies are in half. So typically they're $3, but you split it in half and they're $1.50.
Yeah, which
So
is
you
a good
can
deal.
rent
But I feel
movies for
like-
$1.50.
I feel like a lot of the movies are on Netflix and Hulu.
Yeah, it's the convenience that really killed it.
But like you.
There's not new movies
So
on
like
Netflix.
how many people are
Rarely.
looking for people? How many people are actually looking for movies that are not on Netflix and Hulu? You gotta think about that.
I
So like
think
family.
a lot.
Really?
Yeah,
Because
I
the
always
new
like to scroll through.
releases are not on Netflix or Hulu.
And they can
there
do-
might be like one or two.
Well,
But they
occasionally,
can purchase them on pay-per-view, like
Yeah.
you said.
you
yeah.
could, but it's more expensive.
How much is pay-per-view?
It's about $5.99 a rental.
it depends on the movies. Like if it's
Yeah.
an older movie, it's like maybe like $3.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like even
Older
on YouTube,
movies,
you
but
can
for
buy movies pay-per-view.
Yeah.
So,
new releases are more expensive.
Okay.
So they can go anywhere from $5.99 to $7.99. I've paid to rent one.
yeah.
When you can go to Redbox, and it's what, like $1 or something. Same
Mhm.
thing, like $1.50, I think.
I personally, with my digital movies, I just buy them on the PlayStation store on my PlayStation, and I have them forever. I just buy them. And
How expensive are they on PlayStation?
It's like the same price as a DVD. Like I bought
Okay.
Avengers on there for like the bonus thing with all the bonus features with. It was like $25, and I have that forever now on my PlayStation account.
So
and I also bought
but what happens
Chernobyl on there too.
if you no longer have a PlayStation account?
And I lose that. So that's the thing. Same thing with your Comcast
Same
too.
thing with
if
my Comcast.
Comcast goes away, which
Exactly.
is
Yeah.
not going to anytime soon.
Which is
But-
not going to.
Yeah, it's not going to go anywhere. But if Comcast goes away, you lose all that.
Exactly. That's kind of the. There's up and downs, right, of
Absolutely.
both of it. I'm
Yeah.
kind of curious to see how the industry is going to navigate all of this,
Yeah.
especially with the new releases. I think that's the biggest thing. You're losing out maybe on so much because how can people rent movies otherwise? All you have
Yeah.
is Redbox and on demand. So if people
But I
are
mean-
getting rid of all these services or not using them and they're using these online platforms and that's the last places new releases go, like what's going to happen?
Yeah.
Well, also, how many people actually own DVD players now?
No one does. Like,
I
do
do.
you have a
I
specific?
know,
just
I do
old
too.
school.
Do you have a
I do,
specific?
But like in this generation, like how many people actually own
Yeah.
I said-
DVD players?
I said the one
you
that's built
definitely
into my
don't get
PlayStation,
physical
you know?
DVDs. Yeah.
So like you don't have. Yeah. It's DVDs are going by the wayside.
So if the
and-
DVD players are
yeah.
going away, like no one's gonna want to buy any DVDs.
No.
They can just order the movie online. It doesn't have to be on Netflix. There's so many other places that you can actually rent or buy the movie from and just watch it and stream it online.
Yeah, it's just so convenient.
Yeah, it's very convenient for the lazy ones.
It's like I have this movie on the shelf right there, but I can watch it here right now. Click the button
Exactly.
and pay like $3, even though it's right there.
And I could drive up there and pay like half of that price, but I would rather just pay that extra price because I'm just chilling
For
at my couch
convenience.
for the convenience.
Exactly.
People will pay for the convenience.
That's what everything kind of is about.
Yeah.
And then Mark said that there's a new, not Rocky. What did you say is coming out?
Oh yeah, there's new Rambo and a new Terminator coming out.
Hold on a second. What year did Rambo first come out? Wasn't it like
85?
the early 80s?
It was like 85
it
or
was in the
84 or
80s.
something like that. It was early 80s.
And
was
Sylvester
80s.
Stallone is going to reprise his role.
Yup.
Of course.
And Arnold Schwarzenegger is going to reprise
Yup.
his role in the Terminator.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, who else can play them better than themselves?
Like,
Really?
Well,
I think they're getting old. Like I was watching a video of Arnold Schwarzenegger working out, and he was not. He was
I think that's
struggling
the
a
beauty
little
of
bit.
it. Like Terminator is Terminator. Like you know who Terminator is.
yeah, you couldn't
And
make
you
a
know who
Terminator
Rambo
without
is.
him.
Like
yeah.
they're not replaceable.
Did you see
But they're doing that with
Escape
Rocky
Plan?
though. Like have you seen the Apollo movies, the Creed movies? Sorry, yeah,
The
Creed.
Creed,
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, like that. Michael B. Jordan's taking up that role from
Yeah.
Sylvester Stallone.
But slowly.
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 But Stallone's still in it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he's still
and
in
he's
it.
not.
He's a minor.
He's not.
a
He's
side
Creed,
character.
though.
Right.
He's not Rocky.
Yeah, he's not
Right.
Rocky.
Rocky Balboa still
But he
Yeah.
still.
is Sylvester.
But with like
Yeah.
Rambo, it's like there's no. It's Rambo.
It's Rambo.
It's Rambo.
I'm curious. Well, I mean, did you see the Escape Plan movies with both of them?
No, I
They're
have not.
actually not too bad.
I heard a lot of like Arnold Schwarzenegger's new movies aren't that great.
I think his older
No.
movies were a lot
Like the
better.
last Terminator
Yeah,
with
like
twins.
the last
Yeah.
Terminator with Amelia Clark in it.
Yeah.
That wasn't that great.
I didn't see that one.
It was
That's
okay.
That's got to be newer.
It came out. It was Terminator Genesis. I think it came out like 2016.
I remember I fell asleep halfway through it.
Yeah, it was-
When
it
that's
was-
when I knew like that wasn't.
It was weird.
We got it. Sorry, Jordan's trying to tell us to wrap it up.
We got
it,
30
bud.
minutes?
Oh, that's short
We're
compared to
good.
the ones
we're okay.
they've been doing.
All right.
So you just gotta keep that in
So
mind.
cut
30
that
minutes.
part out.
3 minutes?
Okay.
No, 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 no.
Anyways,
Yeah, we're at 30 minutes.
that's all right. We still got a couple more things to talk
Yeah,
about.
yeah. Start winding it down, but we got some more
I
things.
figured he wasn't
Like
going to stop
pizza.
going like this if I didn't say something.
You should have just not looked at him. Just
Well, no, I got it, and then I need to move over to Mark.
Well, I'm trying to say like, hey, let's do something else now. Let's.
Yeah, let's talk about pizza.
Oh,
pizza.
Who doesn't love a good pizza?
Pizza. Okay,
Pizza.
This is your idea to talk
this
about
was
pizza.
my idea. I love pizza.
I love pizza.
I
What,
love
what I found too
pizza.
is that when people talk about pizza, it gets really contentious really fast.
No, you can see the people's faces change when they talk about pizza.
Yeah.
They get a lot more
They get
excited.
excited.
Yeah.
Pizza's amazing.
Pizza
It
is
really,
amazing.
like how often do you eat pizza?
Oh my God,
Let's start
like-
with that.
How about I tell you, I ate like 3 different kinds of pizzas in like less than an hour. Because like I was on a mission. Like I'm gonna try this pizza, that pizza,
Oh,
this
okay.
pizza.
Okay,
and,
that's
like,
But how often
yeah,
do you do
like,
that?
How
though?
often
typically
I
do
eat
you
it?
eat pizza?
4 to 5 times a week. I have pizza. I
What?
do. Yeah.
I was
it's
just
an
about to say too.
addiction.
I don't even know if I wanted to admit, but you.
No.
you
3 to
eat
4
way more than I do,
times.
yeah.
Sometimes 5 times a week. Like I'll order. Yeah, I love pizza. I love.
I eat it once a week, and I
pizza.
thought that was a lot.
I probably do like
No.
once or twice a week.
No, I
Maybe
was
3
like
times.
that. And
What's
then
your go-to pizza?
place?
Yeah,
Mama Rosa's
I don't know where
in
that is.
Detroit.
Mm. Is that your go-to though?
That's my
go-to.
Mama-
Like if I want pizza, I'm going there,
if I want pizza, that's where I'm going.
even if it's all the like out of the way.
Absolutely, because that I do go to Detroit very often. So
Okay.
like, I am getting Mama Rosa's at least 3 times a week.
Wow.
Yeah, I love Mama Rosa's pizza, especially they're just like plain pepperoni pizza because you get the small pepperonis and they're like crispy
Oh,
on the
that's best part.
outside,
Yeah.
and you get hot sauce and ranch. It's
Mm.
amazing.
What's your go-to
Amazing.
pizza?
Ah, gosh, there's really like no like restaurant I can think of that is like go-to get pizza. Like she was saying, like one down in Detroit or like some.
It's okay if it's a chain.
Yeah, because mine's a chain for sure. Like my go-to is Jets
Mine
for sure.
too.
Jets is pretty
Jets is
good.
like just so
Jets.
consistently good. I've never
It's
had
the sauce.
bad
It's
Jets.
all in the sauce.
But you know their bread is like this thick.
I
and
get
I
round.
feel
Yeah,
like
I love that
I
Detroit
get
style
the
though.
round.
You know, I don't get the round. I get the thick bread, thick
Yeah,
crust.
I
I like
love that
Brooklyn
Detroit
style
style.
Too
pizza.
much.
Like I like that.
I love
long
Detroit
flat,
style
yeah.
pizza.
Yeah.
I like the crust on the Detroit style pizza so much. I'll eat it just for the crust.
You know, with
Yeah.
Jets pizza, you get that like Parmesan garlic on the
Mhm.
crust.
The ranch,
Pepperoni
they
and
do
banana
have the
peppers.
best ranch. You can just dunk your pizza.
Oh yeah, I always me and my girlfriend always order a bottle of ranch whenever we get the pizza because
Yeah.
you can get
You
the
have
big
to.
bottle.
Yeah. Where you can just, from Just It, they'll
It's
like
like
order.
$3 or something like that.
So
and you
worth
get
it,
$3
though.
The big squeeze bottle.
Is that your favorite pizza though? Like best pizza you ever had?
I've been to so many pizza places all over. I can't really think or pin down like
No?
the best pizza place I've ever had.
I think mine.
There's just been so many.
Lou Malnati's in Chicago. It is
Lou
amazing.
Malnati's?
I actually did go there. That was really good.
And just so everybody knows, you can actually order it to be delivered. They'll ship it on dry ice.
Are you
Okay,
serious?
so what's
Yeah.
so special about
How
the
expensive
pizza?
is that?
It's just it's a Chicago style, so it's got the
Nice.
sauce on top.
Yeah.
That's good.
It's just so good. I mean, if you go to Chicago, you have to stop in there. It's usually pretty busy, but it's definitely worth the wait. It's
So we can
really
order
good.
pizza from there.
We
and
could
they'll
and have it
deliver
shipped.
And like,
Dry
how long
ice.
does that take?
You know, I don't know. I'm assuming it's not cooked. I can't.
I don't know.
So like we would have
I feel
to
like
cook it.
I feel like
yeah.
cooking it is like a big part of like what makes it
Absolutely.
good. So
I
I feel
don't
like
know.
How much
people
it's in there
there would know how to
for?
cook it.
Because
Yeah.
you can't. We're 4 hours from Chicago, and I know it doesn't get here within 4 hours.
Well,
so
I'm
I'm
sure
assuming it's not.
What they
cooked.
do is they probably freeze it when it's done, and then you just heat it up in the oven.
in the oven. That's what my
So.
guess would be.
Won't be as
I don't
good, but you know.
I really don't know. I've never ordered food on dry ice before.
I didn't even know you could do that.
I ordered
Yeah.
a Blue Apron once. That wasn't on dry ice, but it
Blue
is.
Apron?
Yeah.
What's that?
It's the a food service where you order
Like,
meals to come in.
They're already cooked though.
No, they're uncooked.
Okay.
Oh, okay.
But they're
So,
already
like,
like
they're, like,
portioned out.
pre-mapped,
So like
pre-
if you got something with chicken in it, there'll be like raw chicken in this package, but there's like a frozen part
Right.
of the box
Right.
that it's in. So it's like arrives frozen.
And so, like, do you have instructions on how to
Yeah.
cook it? Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, it was pretty good.
How long
I had
does
it.
it usually take to ship? Like how long do you usually wait?
It usually takes them like a week to ship out the first one, but then
Oh.
they'll start doing them every week. But it's kind of expensive. It's like $40 for 2 meals sent over a week.
Wait, so like
Two-
$80 for a month?
Yeah, it's like 2 meals, 2-person portion, around $80 a
Yeah,
month.
I think I would just go to the store.
I think so.
Yeah, it was too expensive. I just wanted to try it out.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure.
It was like,
Well,
oh, I
it's
got
good
food
to
shipped and
try
I made
different like recipes
Yeah.
and kind of some
Yeah,
of
I always
those
like
like
trying new things.
there's been a few that I've looked into that have looked really good, but it was more like the healthy style meals. You
That's
know
kind
what
of what
I
I
mean?
have to go towards now.
So
Healthy?
yeah.
What?
Well, I'm a vegetarian now, so it's like
Now like this is
Oh.
new.
yeah, this is just this year I started.
Oh, wow, I
Like in
used
the
to be
summer.
one.
Really?
It's I started in May.
Do you feel different?
I feel a lot better, for sure.
So like no meat, no dairy.
I'm not
He's not
not
vegan.
vegan.
Not
I will
vegan,
still
so,
do dairy.
like-
I still eat a lot of cheese.
Oh.
For like pizza. Pizza's
Yeah.
the best thing to eat as a vegetarian.
Well, it's
Yeah.
because you can
hard.
get it anywhere.
It's funny because a lot of vegetarians. I used to be one too, but a lot of vegetarians I meet don't eat healthy at all.
Oh yeah,
It's
I
pasta,
wouldn't say I eat healthy at all.
Pizza.
But when I do, I eat healthy. Like I'll just like make a vegetable stir fry or something like
Yeah.
that. It's just like really basic dishes with vegetables.
That's
So-
funny. I've been thinking about going vegetarian lately too, or
Okay.
pescatarian.
So
That's what my roommate's doing.
I was a pescatarian for like 4 or 5 months. And it was amazing. But then
Yeah.
I actually started craving.
Meat.
Yeah, I kind of get that
And I
now
was
too.
like, yeah. And I was like, man, let me just like have like a slice of that. And that's when I actually started eating a lot more pizza. I was like, you know what? I can't do this for long. But what
Mhm.
made you become a vegetarian?
Pretty much just like it's pretty much going against the meat industry because meat industry has like a lot of bad practices.
Okay.
We
They
all know
do.
that.
It's
Yeah.
yeah.
And it was pretty much just like me, just like I don't really care much for meat anyway. Like
Yeah.
as a kid, like my dad would make burgers or like roast or steak or something like that, and I never really liked it.
Really?
I mean, studies show vegetarians live longer than meat eaters.
Absolutely.
It is the healthier way to
Yeah.
go.
Mhm.
And I don't think, like you said, like you crave meat. I think it's okay.
I'm starting to get to that point where I am a
depending-
little bit.
Depending on
But I mean, it's-
what your reason is.
Right.
If you have
Absolutely.
meat every now and again.
Absolutely. I had no
that's-
reason.
yeah.
But
Like, I just wanted, like, because I gave it up for Lent. And when I started eating it, my stomach was like, what is
yeah,
this?
it screws
Like,
you up for a while.
Yeah.
for sure.
And so I was like, no, I'm not having this. And also being a lot healthier, I was like, let me try it. But then when I started craving meat, I had like a slice of like pepperoni pizza and I had a lot of pepperoni and I ate it. Nothing happened to me. And I was
Yeah.
like, all right, I'm good.
Yeah.
More pizza.
That's it, probably
More
the
pizza for me.
The thing that like really made me do it though, it was just some random fact I heard where it takes I forgot the amount, but it's like 2,000, 3,000 something around there gallons of water to grow one cow over its lifetime.
Yeah.
It was like that's crazy. And I started looking into all this other stuff like like 67 or 80% of our crop yield is going towards cattle feed.
Yeah.
It's like all this land is just that we're growing soy and corn on for is just for feeding cows.
Yeah.
And there's this a few things like that where I was just like, oh,
There's
it's
some
bad.
really good documentaries, Forks Over Knives. There was one that I watched that was hosted by, I can't think of his name, Phoenix. What's his? Joaquin
Phoenix?
Joaquin Phoenix. And it was brutal. And I couldn't eat meat for months after I watched it. And to me, it's more about the slaughtering of the animals. Like, I'm
See,
such
that's the
an
part that doesn't
animal
bother
lover
me. Like, believe it or
that
not.
I and this is so bad to say, but I kind of don't mind the chicken so much.
Well,
but
when I think about it, it's
lambs, cows, and I'm just like,
it doesn't bother me as much because like the way I think about it, nature's brutal anyway.
it is.
And like, I'm not saying that what we're doing to animals is right by any means. Like, it's pretty terrible, but like, animals kill each other all the time.
They do. But I feel, to me, anyways, it's different when we're almost growing animals to slaughter them.
With the antibiotic,
you know what I mean?
growth hormones,
Yeah,
and
they're
then using
pumped full of
antibiotics because they're
yeah.
they're packed so tightly together that they pump them full of antibiotics so they don't get sick.
But in these documentaries, and there's a bunch, actually, Forks Over Knives is on Netflix, and there's a couple other, I have to think of the names, but you really can learn a lot about not only how fruits and vegetables and being vegetarian can benefit you health-wise, but environmentally, kind of how, like, they do show some pretty graphic things.
I prefer recommending Food Inc. I remember
Food
seeing-
Food
Inc.
Inc.
That's another good one.
Another good one.
Another good one. They're all good. I've watched probably like 10 of them.
That's pretty cool.
But they show like all the chicken coops, and you've just got hundreds of chickens smashed in these little areas.
When
and
it comes
it's
to
just
meat
like,
and chicken, I think I'm more effy about chicken than I am with meat and like lamb and all that.
yeah, everyone's different.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
With chicken, like, I'm very picky with my chicken, how it's cooked.
Well, yeah, because you can get salmonella
Yeah.
really easily. If you've ever taken a bite into raw chicken, it's like
I have before.
You have?
Yeah.
I got like
me
chicken
too.
tenders from like a restaurant once, and it was just
No.
like all raw.
Oh gosh.
Bleh. Immediately just spat it all over the place.
I want to just circle back to a minute. 'Cause I know we kind of went on this crazy tangent.
Tangents.
But so you started here as an intern.
Yes.
And I think there's something really cool about Mark's story, that you started as an intern and then, were offered a position here, and now you work here, and it's almost the same as in the industry. You meet with talent, new and aspiring and experienced talent on a daily basis. And evaluate them to see if they're a good fit for our company, and if we're a good fit for them. And I think it's important to touch on the points of kind of doing non-paid projects, keeping an open mind, and putting in the work. It's really easy to get in the mindset that it's like, okay, I'm going to get my marketing materials. Bless you.
Thank you.
That I'm going to get my marketing materials, and then I'm a model and an actor now, and I'm just going to wait and hope something happens.
Yeah, you can't do
That's
that.
the worst thing to do.
In today's world, the job market is so competitive. You can't wait
No.
for someone to give you a job.
No
Yeah.
one's going to come and knock on your door and give you a job. There's so many other people going for the same job that you're going for.
That's true.
Yeah.
And we do, so the way our services work, right, we have a database of castings our talent can apply to, but then we also have a castings department that we aggressively go after opportunities. We submit our talent to different jobs. But we submit to both paid and non-paid projects, and we do that for a reason, because when you're getting into any industry, any job, it's about building experience.
Nobody cares about who paid you and how much they paid you for that casting or that opportunity. They care about the experience that you actually got from that opportunity. So paid and non-paid are they're just the same. It's the experience that you're adding onto your resume.
And the networking that you're doing.
You get to meet people, for
100%.
sure.
But it's putting in the work, too. You know, you can't just expect, you know, again, in anything that you do, you invest in yourself, whether you're going to school to be a doctor,
Absolutely.
which is an investment, whether you're interning somewhere to get that experience to add to your resume and networking, you're investing in yourself, whether you're buying tools or headshots or cameras or podcast equipment, whatever it is that you're doing, whether you want to be a painter or an artist.
Absolutely.
And you're buying pencils and canvas and paint, it's all an investment in yourself. But then it's, again, like putting in the work, like, you know, even doing art, you're maybe you give away a few pieces to start getting your work out there.
You definitely do.
Yeah,
you definitely do. Anytime you go, when you talk about castings and auditions, it's really like, when you go there and you get, whether you get rejected or accepted, you know what to expect. That casting makes you a lot bigger. It makes you a lot stronger. You learn from it. You know what to expect. Without those experiences, you don't grow. You don't know what you need to work on, what you're good at, and what more you need to do to work. It's a craft. You work on your craft. And it's not just money that you're investing, it's the time that you're investing in going to trainings and investing time in yourself and learning about the craft that you're getting into. Because no one made it overnight.
right.
Like, it's not that easy to get into the industry. It's not that easy to get into any field that you're getting into.
Exactly.
Time and effort is definitely necessary. And you got to be consistent. You definitely got to be consistent.
Well, and a lot of times, too, I think it's a little bit of entitlement. You know, we think that if we invest in ourselves or in something, that we just expect an overnight return.
A lot of people think it's luck, too.
Or luck, yeah.
But the thing, you kind of have to manufacture your own luck by, like, putting yourself out there to get in those positions where you can get lucky. Like, meeting someone by chance and just saying, hey, I'm working on this project. Would you want to be a part of this?
As luck.
Yeah, they consider it luck. But no, you took the initiative to go to that event and meet that person and all that stuff. So it's like you have to manufacture your own luck to a degree.
For sure.
Along with pursuing and being very adamant about doing what you want to do. So.
Yeah. And a lot of it's, too, you know, following directions. Like you said, you know, keeping up with it, staying consistent.
Yeah.
You want to consistently submit yourself out. You want to make sure that you read everything thoroughly and you follow the directions, whether they want a video audition or, you know, they want you to list your name and your email and your phone and your height or whatever in a specific order.
Yeah.
Just like at a job interview, you're looking for certain things when you get a resume, I'm sure, or when someone comes in. It's the same thing for a casting director. When they ask for specific instructions, they're first weeding out those who don't follow instructions.
Absolutely.
Because that's going to then transpire on a set. You know, a lot of these projects are multi-million-dollar productions.
Oh, yeah. They do not want to waste time.
No.
Exactly.
Because every minute they're on that set, they're bleeding money.
Yeah.
Talking about wasting time. Like, the one thing that I've realized, people have no time management.
Oh, yeah.
No time management. They will show up 5-10 minutes late and expect to be seen. And it's like, that's not how it works. When you're early, you're on time. When you're on time, you're actually late. So showing up, when I say early, we don't say like an hour early. Never show up an hour early, right? 15-20 minutes early. But time is everything.
Yeah, being punctual.
Yeah, because you're right. Those casting directors, they're all bleeding on all of that. So time is one of the biggest things. Yeah. We're done.
Godfather directions.
Godfather.
What about Godfather?
Well, there's what's that saying? Good luck is where hard work.
Oh,
hard work and something meet.
I know what saying you're thinking of, and I can't think of it.
We'll put it
at
on
all.
the bottom here.
It's like
but I
hard
think
work
that's a good thing
is
for
where-
everyone to
yeah.
live by, right? We all kind of learn. We learn as we go along, but it's important. Everything that we've talked about today, being on time, being prepared, presenting yourself well, following directions, all of these things help us not only in our industries, but help us be better people, right?
Oh, yeah.
In our
Absolutely.
day-to-day lives.
Yeah, I keep
And
learning.
we're always growing.
Mm-hmm. Gotta keep growing.
And today is September 11th, and it is 18 years
18.
since...
It's been 18 years.
18 years.
It's been a while.
It's been
I
a while.
know. And I think everybody, I'm sure, still remembers where they were.
Oh, yeah.
I was
that day.
very little, but I remember it very distinctly.
Where were you?
Okay, so we had just came to the States, and I was in fifth grade, either fifth grade or sixth grade. I was in middle school, and I remember I was watching the TV, and all of that was happening, and like
You probably didn't understand it. Yeah.
I didn't know what happened until I got home, and my cousin was like, "Yeah, this is what happened, like Twin Towers and all that." I was like, "Oh my God!" I was watching it like on TV, but I didn't know anything. And I remember that time I was at the library. I was sitting at the library, watching the TV, and I was like, "I wonder what's happening on there." Didn't understand everything.
Yeah.
I will never forget that though.
No, yeah.
Yeah. Where
Yeah,
were you?
I was actually at my cousin's house, and I have a cousin who is an editor in New York City, and he happened to be in town here visiting, and he was supposed to go back that morning.
That's crazy.
And so we had all stayed at my cousin's house, and I remember being up watching TV, and the first plane had already hit, and I'm watching the news, and all of a sudden I see the second plane. I'm like, there comes another one. Then I just looked at him, and I'm like, John, I don't think you're going home today. And yeah, it was crazy. I ended up going I visited him a lot over the years in New
Yeah.
York, and we ended up going to Ground Zero that December, I think it was.
Oh, wow.
And I actually have a piece of the Twin Towers, but it was a sight to see. There was still cards and photos and candles and people crying
Wow.
and the wreckage and the
crazy.
windows blown out of, the buildings next door, and we lost over 3,000 of our citizens' lives
Yeah.
that day. So
No, yeah.
definitely say a prayer today for all of those who lost their lives, for those who lost loved ones. Even since that day, people have gotten sick.
Yeah, no, John Oliver is a big advocate for that kind of stuff right
Yeah.
now.
So
Sure.
our thoughts and prayers are definitely with everyone affected by September 11th. And, I mean, it's affected us all as
Absolutely.
a country.
Oh,
Yeah.
Absolutely.
And we will definitely never forget.
I still have my quilt. That's my story about 9/11. I was in kindergarten.
Wow.
And I had afternoon kindergarten, so I wasn't in school yet. So all of a sudden, I was just hanging out in my room, and my mom comes and gets me, and she's like, "We're going to your grandma's house. I need someone to talk to." And so we went over to grandma's house. Like, "Oh, we're going to grandma's house." Got all excited, and I remember they're all watching the TV. Again, I was confused. I had no idea what was going on.
Yeah.
And I distinctly remember a man with a bloody face running up to the news reporter, and I saw this bloody face, and then my grandma was just like, "Okay, we're gonna go upstairs and we're gonna make a quilt." I'm like, does that sound fun? I'm like, "Yeah, that sounds fun." So we made this quilt on 9/11. It has like the American flag on it and a bunch of other like pieces of
Nice.
cloth that I picked because I was so little, and I still have that to this day.
That's awesome.
That is pretty awesome.
I actually made a poster board. You just reminded me that I ended up putting it on my garage every day, or not every day, every 9/11 for
yeah.
like the first 10 years or so.
Yeah.
It's crazy that's almost been 20 years.
I cannot believe
That is
that time
crazy.
has flown
Well, when you said
by.
like what 18 has been 18, 19.
years, yeah.
I've been. Yeah.
It's crazy.
Time goes
Seems
by
it
fast.
seems a lot more recent than it was.
It does.
Definitely.
I think
Time
it's
goes by
because it
very
was
quick.
so impactful. It was such a,
Yeah.
I mean, it's the worst attack on U.S. soil ever. So that's something that,
It's not forgettable.
no.
No.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
That's kind of a somber note to
I
end on.
know. I'm like, what else can we talk about real quick? We got to bring this mood back up.
Yeah. Well, I think it's about time to wrap up anyway.
Yes, I
So-
You don't want to talk about the weather? Because it
Well,
is.
Freak storm,
We're in the middle
Hurricane
of-
Dorian that's outside of our window right now?
Hurricane Dorian.
We lost power a couple times. We didn't know if this was going to happen, but we made it
But
through.
we made it through.
Yeah. Thank you, everybody, for joining us on 9-9 Nation Episode 6. And stay tuned next week to see what a lovely host you'll have.